there.
Yeah.
That's
And it
Yes.
is. Okay.
Recorders on. That was back in FIPA. so
And
you
Troy's
have to
absent.
for you those records for that.
We'll call the meeting to order for the February meeting of IT Committee.
It was that.
Are there any public comments? Hearing none. Printer, copier, maintenance, consolidation.
Yeah, I don't have an update. I'm waiting for, the next step is pricing. I had sent an email maybe a week or 2 weeks ago saying, however, and they wanted to wait another month to get more numbers of our volume, so they said they'll be getting it to me shortly. So we'll have about a month's notice before to look at the quote and see what it would mean in terms of savings.
Okay. Status of 2015 network projects. Replacement of backup server.
The backup server is in and installed last Wednesday. And then it took a few days for them to transition all the memory from the old backup server into the new server, which is inside our cabinet. And I talked to Corey yesterday because we had 911 had a warning out of space. We get emails every morning on the status of the backups, and they had one that said low on space, and so I panicked and sent him an email, and he said, no, we're not done transitioning. And just before the meetings this morning, he sent and said, last night they finished transitioning all the history over to the new box, so we should see a success on all ours. And then 911s from last night came back as successful, so no space warning. So that's moving forward successfully.
Okay. Firewall upgrade?
The firewall is in. That actually came in last Wednesday. With the firewall, the biggest thing with the firewall is not the actual hardware, it's all the programming they have to do. So they've been working on that for a week. They called yesterday, and they have it scheduled to be out here tomorrow. So they'll come out tomorrow. I asked about outages, very minimal. There'll be maybe a couple minutes here or a couple minutes there. The first switchover where they take the old one down, they'll get everything in place first and then just unplug the old and plug in the new. So over the lunch hour, we'll be making that first switch. So there may be just a couple minutes of outage over the lunch hour. If we need any more, I'll just blast out an email, but hopefully it'll just be the one or two if we have slight issues that have to be addressed. So that should be in tomorrow.
Okay. IT policy.
Hey, you haven't done anything on that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Not a problem. Have we gotten information back from Corey on it?
No, and I have not followed up this month.
That's fine. We'll just say we're waiting on Corey.
Yes.
Any other IT issues? From anybody? Great.
No claims?
No, the claims go to finance for
Cool.
here. I don't know, I mentioned it to Kyle. I've been fighting with AT&T. I didn't know really what committee, from our transition to IP Flex way last June 27th. Really nothing was done correctly in terms of the billing. I mean, it all worked, they made the transition, but the two PRIs, they charged us early termination fees on those two contracts when it was an upgrade in service. Never have gotten that fixed. The T1 that the Regional Office of Education was paying for, I don't know, I just sent Jeff an email this morning asking if he ever got his credit. The two lines, there were two different bills that went to FIPHD. We just got one credit to clean off one of those accounts. The other one is still showing a balance forward. I continue to fight with them every month, following up, sending them my emails that go literally all the way back to before. Here's what has to happen. Here are the bills and the accounts that go away. I send them all the promises they've made that it's all going to be fixed, and it just doesn't happen. Yesterday I got a collection agency phone call, and they actually were very sympathetic. She's like, wait, you did an upgrade of service? I'm like, yes. And she says, well, then you shouldn't have been charged these. I know I shouldn't have. She's like, well, just pay us, and then when the credit comes through, we'll make a note on your account that you should be reimbursed. So I sent an email to AT&T. I declined that recommendation and sent an email to AT&T that got a little bit snarky. And I actually got a response from somebody I never heard from before, who's somebody's boss, who said, and copied 3 other people, that says AT&T is aware of how they've messed up this whole thing. And she promises she's going to get it fixed and restore my faith in AT&T. But she's going to be out of the office for 3 days, so she can't do it right now. So next week it's going to be her number 1 priority. So it's just so you're aware, it's still out there. I'm still fighting it. The amount of time I've spent to get this fixed is
Anita, will that include
just ridiculous.
being able to fax?
Oh, that's another thing that's on the list that they've never done. You know, promise after promise. Yes, I put in the service ticket. Yes, it's high priority. The last time I said, you're going to interrupt our voting cycle. People, you know, they're trying to get this stuff in, tax cycle after the last meeting. We'll get it done. We'll move it up to a critical issue. Promise after promise, which just never gets done. I don't know. So this woman, she sent, the email I wrote was on these early termination fees, but what I'm going to do today is, that's why I sent an email to Jeff at Regional Office of Education, is make a list of all the things that are out there that are just not getting finished. Just not getting finished. It's interesting, we did, Clifton Larson Allen, our auditors, when they were here, were trying to sell me on a new service where they review your phone bills and get you all kinds of savings. So I said, we just had this done and we just changed all our service. I don't know what you can do. Well, there's a free phone call anyway. So I had a call Thursday or Friday last week from Clifton Larson Allen, and with these 2 guys who spearhead this division of doing this for governments. It's only for governments that they have this new focus. And I had a phone conversation, and not to go through all the gory details, but I kind of told them all the things that were messed up, and they said, first off, the fact that it's actually working right gets you light years ahead of most people we talk to that do the same thing. That with this IP Flex, a lot of government entities switched to it, and then what happened is it doesn't work for either voice or data. The fact that both of it works is great, and then these entities end up stuck paying for the IP Flex and their old system as well. So they have tremendous amount of double charges. I said, no, everything works. It's really all this billing issue. And they kind of said, well, send us your bills, but it sounds like you're doing everything, and if it makes you feel any better, it's kind of par for the course of...
Isn't that scary?
Yeah, unfortunately. So I don't know that there's anything. If there's something they think they can do to save us money, they said they'd come back and make a proposal, which will cost us money. But I sent them all the bills. They didn't think in the conversation that there'd be anything, but they would look at it.
Any questions? Observations? Anything else? Adjournment? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
That was quick. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?